can you write a report about two charts? In this case, there is a bar and a line chart. Here is the task. The graphs below give information about obesity in 5 regions and food energy input and output in 2 of the regions over 10 years. There is a lot of information here. So remember, you always have to summarize by selecting and reporting only the main features. You do not report everything. And then you have to compare where relevant. You can't compare and contrast everything. It's impossible. So, to help you focus, let's look at the keywords. The first one is obesity. This means people who are overweight. They have too much fat on their bodies. There are 5 regions represented. And the second graph is about food energy into and out of the body. Where? In 2 of the 5 regions. Looking at these keywords will help you focus on the main ideas. Here is the first graph, which is a bar graph or bar chart. So can you see the 5 regions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you notice this is about people who are overweight or obese, not children. Only older teenagers or adults, so no children. This is percentage, and you can see Southeast Asia probably has the healthiest population. Here is the second graph, which is a line graph. Remember, the instructions said this only deals with 2 of the regions. Which regions? We've got PO here and SEA here. What would that mean? PO, Pacific Oceania, SEA must be Southeast Asia. Try to think logically in the test and don't panic. All right. The first paragraph must be an overview. Describe the purpose of the graphs. These questions might help you write the overview quickly and simply. Number 1, what is the graph about? Remember, it's about being overweight or obese. Who is the graph about? It's about populations in 5 different parts of the world, or the line graph, if you recall, let's have a look, was only about 2 regions, the Pacific Ocean and Southeast Asia. Is there a time reference in the graph? When is the data from? Let's go back and look. Aha, over the 1990s. So it does tell you when. And the last question might help. How much, how many? Remember? Oh, sorry, here is the bar graph. The numbers up the side refer to percentage of the population. In the line graph, though, the numbers up the side represent kilojoules per day, which is food energy intake and expenditure. So, here are the answers to those questions. Take your time. Have a look at how I'm paraphrasing already. So here, for example, said 15 years or older, but I don't want to copy from the instruction. So here I've written people age 15 years or more. Or you could say late teens and adults. So you don't have to copy, or you shouldn't copy, I should say. You have to try and write in your own words. So these are the questions and the answers for graph 1. What about graph 2? It's a line graph comparing food in with energy out of the body. We already discussed where. Let's have a look at how I paraphrase the when. You could say the 1990s, from 1990 to 1999, or you could say 1 decade. You can have a look at that at your leisure. Let's keep going. Now the full text is 3 paragraphs and the total is 188 words. Remember, you have to write at least 150 words. So this is an excellent example. You can come back to this page and read it again soon. Now, what is so good about this text? It uses comparatives and superlatives to make comparisons. The highest amount of overweight people, slightly lower than, not far behind, the least number of, and the same level of intake. Some other ways to compare that you'll see when you go back are using the word compare as a verb and using the word comparison as a noun. Also, you can link ideas to show difference by writing in contrast comma. But when you go back, you will see all of this. The student also has a variety of vocabulary and expressions. Remember the word obesity? You can't keep writing this same word, so you can also write overweight people or obese people. Food energy in, energy use. How much food energy is taken in? How much food energy is spent? Calorie intake. Now, if you didn't know the word calorie or obese, that's a problem you have to fix by yourself. You have to read widely and learn. Basically, you have to study by yourself. And also, physical activity refers to energy expenditure. So firstly, we had comparatives and superlatives were excellent. Then we had a variety of vocabulary and expressions. Number 3 is excellent use of adverbs and verbs together. You need to be able to do this for all Task 1 reports, not just line and bar charts. Clearly shows increased substantially, declined only slightly, or down here, fell sharply, rose gradually. And then you also need to be able to change the word form. So instead of saying fell sharply, you can write a sharp fall in something. Or instead of rose gradually, you can write a gradual rise in something. This is a skill you need for all Task 1 reports. And number 4 is excellent linkers. Don't just throw linkers in for the sake of it. You have to think about the grammar and the meaning. And in this text, we use in terms of, although. It is not surprising to note that. This explains why, and in contrast. Number 5 is logical overall structure. there are 3 paragraphs. The first one is the overview. The second one presents the first graph, and the third one presents the line graph. And notice the signalling in the first sentences of each paragraph. It's so clear for the IELTS examiner that this paragraph deals with the bar chart and this paragraph deals with the line graph. I really hope this has helped you. Let me go back now, and I want you to take your time and pause on this screen and read it carefully. Notice the comparative grammar, the superlatives, the linking techniques, the vocabulary and the word form. And I hope you can write in the same way.